Eating healthy and exercising are common New Year's resolutions. Maybe you decided to have those as well for your New Year's resolutions if you do that. We may start out the year with good intentions and then, life gets busy and, there's no time for that, right? Wrong. There is time. We must prioritize it in our life. I know changes are not easy, especially for those of us whose negative thoughts, they're standing in the way of us following through. And even if it's on our to-do list to eat healthy, to make that meal in the evening, we come home tired from work and then the negative self-talk kicks in and we just seem to justify why we can't make that healthy meal. In today's show, I'm digging into these topics of healthy eating and exercising, moving our body, and giving you an affirmation that I use to help me stay on track for eating healthy and exercising. Come on in, it's time to choose happy. Today is a new day and you have a choice. Do you want to stop the negative thoughts and live your life free of the limiting stories and fear that stands in your way of living a happy life? If you answered yes, you're in the right place. Hi, welcome to the Choose Happy with Marie show. I am so happy you're here. My name is Marie. I'm a happiness coach and author of the Choose Happy affirmation cards. For the majority of my life, I didn't feel I deserved to live a happy life due to past trauma that had happened to my family. So how does someone who didn't feel worthy of being happy finally live a happy life? Well, I learned the power of choosing happy. In 2020, I felt called to share what I learned with others. I authored affirmations to rewrite the negative thoughts that were a constant cycle in my head. And I published those affirmations that has become the Choose Happy affirmation card deck. It is now over 600 card decks in circulation internationally. You are not your negative thoughts. You deserve to be happy today. In this podcast, you will learn 3 things. The first, you will learn positive self-talk using affirmations aligned with healthy habits. Number 2, tangible ideas to overcome the limiting beliefs. And number 3, everyday living solutions to cultivate a positive mindset and live a happy life. It's time to get off the hamster wheel of everyday living and intentionally living our life, one Choose Happy choice at a time. Come on in. We are choosing happy. Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Earlier this month, I sent members a 1-page PDF titled 10 Ways to Choose Happy Days. It was just a list of little things that you can easily do to brighten the day. I just found I needed that, so I created that for myself, and then I thought to share it with you. I live in a cold climate. We don't always get sunshine, so if you too live in a colder climate and you're not getting a whole lot of sun, you may appreciate these 10 ways to add a little bit of sunshine into your day. For example, I'm just looking at the list right now, and one of the items that I have on the list is about adding the color yellow into our everyday life. Whether that's using a yellow highlighter or having a yellow desk accessory. I actually have a pen holder that's yellow because I was reading about how, according to color psychology, the color yellow is actually associated with sunshine and hope, and you might already know this. I just find in the winter months, I really make an effort to add a little bit more yellow into my life, and I find that helps me kind of cheer up for the day and, choose happy. So if this is something that you would like, please go ahead and send me an email. My email address is in the show notes, and I'll happily send it to you. So just reach out. All right, let's dig into today's topic of eating healthy and adding some movement into our life. So checking in with you. Did you start the new year perhaps saying to yourself or saying to your loved ones or, your friends, family, that you were going to exercise more and perhaps eat healthier? How many of us had said that probably on New Year's Eve, right? Well, let me ask you, how's it working for you? I hope it's working for you well. I hope you're able to bring in a little bit of those positive changes as we begin the new year. I know it's hard to get going with exercise, and especially if you haven't been exercising. So start slow. For example, daily walking, it has a lot of benefits and it's exercising. I actually did an episode about that, episode 48, titled Ditch Morning Negative Thoughts Through Movements, and I focused on the benefits of morning walks. In this episode, I talked about the benefits of walking. I started to walk every day, especially in the morning. I mean, I do have a dog, but even if you don't have a pet, walking in the morning, it really does start your day in a good way. And in this episode, I share 3 tips to help you get going with the new habit of morning walks. As I mentioned, it's a core part of what I do every morning. Doesn't matter where I am. I was visiting my family in Alberta over the holiday season, and I continued to walk while I was there. So it's something that's accessible to us. We don't need a gym. We just need to step outside and bundle up if we're in a cold climate. Get going. It's simply that, and some good shoes or boots that are comfortable to walk, of course. So I actually have that in the Choose Happy Morning routine. If you don't already have it, you can easily download it. Link is in the show notes. It's also on the website, choosehappywithmarie.com. So that's with regard to exercising, just small things that you can do to get you going so that you can put in a bit more movement into your everyday. And then healthy eating. Well, if you haven't been doing healthy eating, that takes patience to pivot that. I want you to recognize that. It benefits from small steps. For example, from learning how to make a new recipe that's healthier to buying ingredients to make that recipe so that when you come home from work, you're able to make that recipe. And then, of course, finding time to cook. I know that's a challenge for many of us. An example of how you can get started is you could swap one thing at a time. For example, I love potato chips. I really do. So what I'm swapping with, because I want to eat less, even though I do enjoy them, I do realize they're not healthy, is I swap them with mixed nuts. And that's what I started to do so that I can still get the crunch that I'm looking for from a potato chip, but it's a little healthier than chips. So that's just an example of how you can swap one ingredient for another, and more on the healthier scale of things. I wanted to share with you something that I do that I find has helped others, and I wanted to share here on the podcast. When I'm wanting to bring in something new into my life, a new habit, a new way of doing things, I do something called habit stacking. And I learned that from James Clear's book titled Atomic Habits. I love that book. There's a lot of information in that book. And I actually did an episode about his book. It's episode number 80. It's called How to Build a Good Habit in 4 Simple Steps. It was a book review that I did of his book, Atomic Habits. And I'll put the links to all these episodes that I refer to in the show notes. So no worries, you don't have to write it down. You'll see it in the show notes. Habit stacking in its simplest terms is about adding something to something you're already doing. And I'll give you an example of something I'm implementing this year. I want to read more books. I love to read. I love to absorb knowledge, but I'm busy, just like you. I'm balancing a job. I've got the podcast show and family and everything else that life asks of me. So how do we squeeze in reading? I'm going to habit stack, or actually I am habit stacking. And James teaches this, how to do this in his book, and I do review it in that episode number 80. So here's what I'm doing, just as an example of how you can habit stack. You need to find what works for you, but this is what I'm implementing. When I have my breakfast every day, because I do have breakfast, so that is already happening in my life. Instead of scrolling social media, checking my email, and anything else that, is social media or news related, I don't do that. Instead, I have my book. I pick a book and I read a few pages of that book. I aim for 1 chapter every time I eat breakfast every day, minimum if I can, depending how big the chapter is, of course. I've anchored that something new in my life to something that I already do. I'm already having breakfast. And normally I am checking email, not scrolling social media because I do spend little time there. But, I'm trying to get a head start on my day and answering questions from listeners. This new approach of wanting to read more books, I have to find where I can do that. And so I'm finding that as I'm having my breakfast, maybe 10, 15 minutes, I can read a few pages, maybe a chapter. It just depends how big that is. So that's working for me. And so maybe I just thought I'd share that with you because maybe that might work for you if you are trying to read a book or trying to do something else that you just can't seem to find the time. Maybe you can anchor it for when you are having breakfast. This is not if you're having breakfast on the run, though. This is if you're actually sitting down for breakfast, which we all should if we can. You could give that a try. If you are looking to improve exercising and eating healthy, I want to share with you an affirmation that I use and that's really helped me change my mindset about exercising and eating healthy. I found that I was having a lot of negative self-talk about, I don't have time. I just kept repeating that story all the time. And then, I started to kind of wake up and say, if I don't make time to eat healthy and exercise, I'm not going to have a great life. I'm not going to have a healthy life. So I had to start rewriting that negative self-talk. And maybe that's happening to you as well. So if you are looking to help rewrite that negative self-talk about not being able to find time or any other limiting story that you have, I'd like to share with you an affirmation today that is in the Choose Happy affirmation card deck. If you are new to affirmations, well, welcome to our show. If you are new, do check out episode number 74 called Affirmations 101, and there's a Choose Happy guided positive affirmation with music. So you can learn a little bit more about affirmations if you're not familiar, because I'm not going to go into it in this episode, but there is that episode that you can learn a little bit more about it. All right, let's do today's affirmation together. I'll repeat it 3 times with a short pause in between. You ready? So today's affirmation to help support us eating healthy and implementing exercise into our life goes as follows. I choose to exercise and eat healthy. These choices are an act of love for my body. I'll repeat it. I choose to exercise and eat healthy. These choices are an act of love for my body. And I will repeat it a 3rd time. Please join me. I choose to exercise and eat healthy. These choices are an act of love for my body. How does it make you feel to hear this affirmation? I authored this affirmation because I was struggling to make the time to eat better. I was justifying to myself that I was too busy with work and picking up the kids from daycare, which was true. But honestly, I could find the time on the weekends to prep some food, for example, to chop up some vegetables so they were ready to go for the next few days. But I had that negative story that I kept telling myself, and my mind was justifying why I just didn't have the time. But what I didn't realize that by not moving my body regularly and not eating properly, I was hurting my body. So I authored that affirmation to remind me that when I do make that choices, when I choose to go for the morning walk, when I choose to have a salad instead of something else that is not healthy, I'm doing it because I love my body. It has helped me to use this affirmation, and I invite you to use it and see how it can support you. For me, I stopped eating the quick access junk food because I kept that card in my wallet, and I would just look at it. If I was like, oh, I need some junk food, I would take the card out and I would tell myself, nope, I'm choosing to eat healthy because I love my body. It is an act of love for my body to choose something healthy. I pick recipes that are not complicated because that was the limiting story as well that I was telling myself, that recipes are too complicated. I just can't do it. Well, there are easier recipes out there that are healthy. So don't let that stop you. So if you do have that limiting story or that limiting self-talk going on, don't let that stop you. Another thing I want to share with you is just some journal prompts, just to kind of get you thinking about why you're making the choices you are making if you are eating unhealthy or not making the time for exercise. So I'm just inviting you just some thoughts to think about. For example, how did my food choices make me feel today? How did I feel physically? How did I feel emotionally? Do I have any negative emotions attached to eating? What realistic changes to my diet would I like to prioritize? Just start with one. And for exercising, for moving your body, ask yourself, why do I want to exercise? What barriers are in my way? What is one barrier I can address? What is the negative self-talk that is standing in my way? Is it an old story that someone told me? You can also refer to that for eating as well. When we choose to exercise, even if it's the simple act of daily walking in your neighborhood, around your workplace, we are making a choice. We're choosing happy as an act of love for our body. That brings out the best in us. Healthy eating and exercising brings out the best in us. And we want that. That is choosing happy. I know when I've had a day where I went for a walk in the morning, I had a healthy breakfast, a healthy lunch, I feel so much better. So today or tomorrow, depending when you're listening to this, what will you choose to do differently now that you have this affirmation? Will you take that walk? Even if it's cold outside, just bundle up. Will you choose to have a healthier option instead of the quick junk food? Keep the affirmation nearby so that when you're about to do something that you don't want to do, you can pull it out if you have it written down or if you have the affirmation card deck. You can read it to yourself and remind yourself why you want to eat healthier and why you want to exercise. So just a friendly reminder, if you want the PDF that I sent out to Choose Happy members earlier this month, that was called 10 Ways to Choose Happy Days, send me an email. My email address is marie@choosehappywithmarie.com. It's in the show notes. And do sign up to become a member so that you can receive future PDF resources. Link is in the show notes, or you can go to the website, choosehappywithmarie.com. I just want to share with you this quote that I found that really resonated with me, and maybe it might resonate with you as well. It goes as follows. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. A quote by Jim Rohn. On that note, wishing you a wonderful week, choosing happy. Cheers! I hope today's episode empowered you to choose happy as you live your upcoming week. If so, please take a minute and share this episode with a family or friend who could benefit from it. I'd also love it if you could take 30 seconds and leave a review on your podcast app. Just scroll down and you'll see the space to leave a review. Doing this helps the show be found by others who are also looking to break free from negative thoughts and live a happy life. Remember to sign up to become a Choose Happy member to receive free resources as they become available. Link is in the show notes. Thank you for listening. Take good care and see you next week.